Hello and welcome back to the Unite Pieces channel. Today, we will be recapping an action thriller from 2021, titled Sentinelle. Sentinelle tells the story of Klara, Olga Kurylenko, a translator soldier in the French military. Previously, she fought in the terrible Syrian war. Then she gets a new mission to join the Operation Sentinelle team in Nice. So, sit down, prepare some snacks, and without further ado, let's get straight into the video. At the beginning of the movie we see a unit of anti-terror forces on duty in Afghanistan. One of the militant fighters is captured and being questioned, but he does not answer when interrogated. Then suddenly, their troops are attacked by militias so that a shootout occurs. Fortunately it lasts long. They then leave the location and want to return to headquarters, but suddenly the scene moves 1 week later where in the end the unit is discharged. One of the members with the rank of corporal named Klara is one of the soldiers who survived the explosion and decided to return to her country in France. Arriving in the city, she immediately picked up her sister who worked in a shop. Her sister happily welcomed her back. They also chatted in the park that afternoon, and this woman was named Tanya. After some time, they finally returned to their apartment and met her mother who looked very happy because her first child was finally home. 1 week later, Klara was finally called back by her superiors. She went straight to her office to meet her commander. After meeting, the commander ordered Klara to return to duty the next day, and she would join the 4-person beach patrol. The scene moved to the next day, where Klara began her duties that day. The commander gave her a briefing before their patrol duties began, and their task was to patrol the beach area in the city. Since the suicide bombing incident while serving in Afghanistan, Klara has become paranoid. She is frightened and aggressive when she sees a bag lying around, and even judges a visitor just because he has a long beard. Seeing this, her colleagues immediately prevented her and brought her back. Long story short, the first day passed, and Klara immediately returned to headquarters and went home. Later that night when she was asleep, she suddenly had a nightmare. Apparently Klara had not fully recovered from the trauma of the explosion she experienced. Tanya, the younger sister, then shows up and invites her to the club to refresh her mind and forget for a moment the trauma Klara experienced. After arriving at the nightclub, they began to have fun. One of the male visitors there invited Tanya to go upstairs, because there was a man who wanted to get acquainted with her. She finally came along and left Klara for a moment. Klara, who was trying to enjoy the atmosphere, was suddenly approached by a girl who started groping her body. This of course made Klara carried away because actually Klara likes the same sex, and finally, they also enjoyed the night and were very immersed in the atmosphere. On the other hand, Tanya gave the code to her sister that she would go with a man. The next day, Klara looked a little anxious because none of the messages she sent to Tanya had been replied to. Klara then went to her workplace to return to duty. A moment later she got a call from the hospital saying that she had to come immediately. Apparently something happened to Tanya. While Klara was looking at Tanya, suddenly 2 people from the police came. Apparently Tanya was found early in the morning on the beach, which was located some distance from the city. Tanya was raped repeatedly and beaten into a coma. Klara then told Tanya the last time she was with Tanya. Then not long after her mother came, and the 2 policemen let Klara and her mother see Tanya's condition, who was lying in a coma. The next day when Klara returned to the officer, her heart was still filled with a sense of revenge. While on patrol, Klara stopped by the club they went to the night before the incident. She asked the club owner to show the CCTV footage. Then the owner accompanied Klara to see the CCTV footage of that night. He then asked Klara what exactly she was looking for, but Klara was silent. Finally she got the face of the man who took Tanya away that night. After taking the picture, she left the bar without saying a word. That night, Klara went straight to the police officer who was handling Tanya's case. Klara showed her a photo of the man, but the police officer said that Klara should not conduct her own investigation, because it was not her authority. It was discovered that the man's name was Ivan, and it turned out that he was the son of the Russian ambassador, who had diplomatic immunity. The police officer suggested waiting for Tanya to wake up, and listening to her statement. That night Klara and her mother continued to hope that Tanya would wake up soon. At the same time Klara's heart was still filled with anger, so she finally intended to find Ivan that night. After taking her mother home, Klara went straight to the club and saw Ivan there. When Ivan went alone to the toilet, Klara immediately followed him secretly. Then Klara tries to get information from Ivan about what happened that night, but suddenly two of Ivan's bodyguards enter and immediately prevent Klara from going any further. However, in the end Klara can overcome them all and leave immediately. Although she managed to escape, she has yet to get information. After pondering for some time to make a decision, in the end she intends to go to Ivan's house the next day. The next day she said goodbye to Tanya, and stole a firearm from where she was on duty. After that she rushed to Ivan's residence. Unfortunately, after arriving there, Klara was caught by Ivan's henchman and his father, Leonid Katnikov. After being caught and knowing her purpose, Leonid immediately told her that it was not Ivan who put Tanya into a coma, because Ivan actually didn't like women. In fact, it was he who raped Tanya repeatedly, then beat her into a coma. When Klara was about to be executed, she resisted them, and in the end she managed to escape from the location. The scene moves to the next day, where Klara receives news that her sister has regained consciousness. At that moment Klara immediately meets her sister. Wordlessly, they looked at each other, and finally Tanya spoke and told her everything, that she was framed. Klara then asked Tanya to sue Ivan in court, but Tanya objected, because she did not want her life exposed to the media. Then Klara was alone. She then saw the news on television that Leonid was going back to Russia, for reasons that were not clear. With a confused face, Klara rushed back to Tania's room. While walking she passed a nurse she had never seen before, especially the movements were very suspicious. It turned out that the nurse injected something that caused Tanya to experience shortness of breath. Klara immediately chased the nurse, and looked for her to the storage room. Suddenly the nurse appeared and immediately attacked Klara. However, in the end, Klara managed to finish her off. Because of this incident, Klara could no longer hold her anger, so she went straight to her workplace and took weapons. It looks very quiet because all her co-workers have gone home. When she was about to leave, her co-worker, who was the guard of the weapons room, suddenly caught her. He then asked her what she was doing there. Klara, having no choice, threatened her co-worker, asked for more firearms, and then told her to tie herself up. After that, she rushed to Leonid's headquarters, and with guerrilla tactics she finished off Leonid's men one by one. Klara finally managed to defeat all of Leonid's troops, but her bullets ran out when she was about to shoot Leonid. However, that doesn't mean Klara didn't kill him. After killing Leonid, she felt satisfied because her revenge was resolved. It wasn't long before the police special forces arrived at the scene, where Klara was seen hiding. However, to her surprise, Leonid was alive, and was rescued by the police. 3 months later at a hotel in Dubai City, Leonid is seen enjoying his recovery time. When he returns to the room, a maid arrives, and suddenly, after confirming that Leonid is dead, Klara rushes away without leaving any evidence. And the movie finally ends. What do you think of this movie? Please write your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to hit the like button, and support our channel by subscribing, so that we stay motivated to create more interesting content for you to enjoy. And until next time.